Good morning. Welcome to Headlines in Bed. Thank you for joining me today, Tuesday, April 6th, 2021. Good to see you. Good to have you join me. Um, make yourself comfortable. Grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, some yogurt, and let's get started with the news. Today, we're going to jump all the way to the East Coast and find out what's going on in New York. We'll start with the New York Times and let's see if we can find any local news. Um, in fact, we're going to go here to New York. Mayoral race. He was charged in an anti-Asian attack. It was his 33rd arrest. Many people arrested in assaults on Asian residents in New York have had a history of mental health episodes, arrests, and homelessness, complicating the city's search for an effective response. Brooklyn man kills woman and her two daughters, then himself. A 9-year-old girl returning from home from a birthday celebration found her mom and two sisters have been murdered, the police said. New York State is set to raise taxes on those earning over $1 million. The deal, a sign of Governor Andrew Cuomo's weekend influence, would mean wealthy New York City residents would pay the highest combined local state rate in the nation. Harvey Weinstein appeals sex crimes conviction over accuser's testimony. The filing marks the beginning of what is likely to be a lengthy effort by Mr. Weinstein, who was accused of sexual assault and misconduct by dozens of women, to overturn his conviction. New York City schools have been closing a lot. That's about to change. No address, no ID, and struggling to get their stimulus checks. Helping homeless people in New York City get stimulus payment. Those 16 and older in New Jersey will be eligible for a vaccine on April 19, the governor says. Young drives the bus. Republicans just 5 takeaways from New York City mayoral race. The latest. For a Brooklyn Heights townhouse, a divine reinvention. There was nothing anybody could do for these patients. Now there is. The first successful direct transplant of a trachea is a medical milestone that could help thousands of people with airways damaged by ventilators and other causes as well. So put a ventilator, damage their trachea, and now do a trachea transplant. The Easter parade that couldn't be stopped, officially the Fifth Avenue ceremony, was virtual. In reality, some couldn't resist the spring weather and chance to peacock. A pandemic opportunity. Weapon Hall's overhaul accelerates. Dark since March 2020, the New York Philharmonic's home will reopen in fall 2022, a year and a half ahead of schedule. Good for them. 1/3 of New Yorkers have received a vaccine shot. DMX is on live. DMX. Excuse me. Excuse me. DMX on life support on vegetative state, ex-manager says. The rapper, whose real name is Earl Simons, was hospitalized after a heart attack, his lawyer said. The Soho, haven for art and wealth, have room for affordable housing. The Manhattan neighborhood is locked in a contentious battle with city officials over whether and how it should change. Without discussing it, my partner and I join in for the chorus. Moved in by a cartoon hero, a funny moment on the subway, and more reader tales of New York City in this weekend's Metropolitan Diary. Broadway reopened for 36 minutes as a start. April the giraffe, who became an internet sensation in 2017, dies. Oh. Excuse me. A stand-up set at the swipe of a metro car. For about 3 months, an Upper West Side comedy club has been organizing Saturday night shows on the 1 train. Huh. How radio show broadcasting live from home has spent Sunday. It's been a year and many pots of beans since Kai Wright abandoned his on-air studio in Manhattan, but the show has gone on. Good for you, Kai. Unite. And now I'm frozen, but I'm lifting my fist up in the air in support. We're gonna leave the New York Times now. We're gonna go to the Wall Street Journal. Um, and we'll be quick since that's not necessarily the best looking post that I could have frozen on. Oh, let's see. I want to see. Do they have New York business, economy, politics, U.S., New York? There we are. A New Jersey restaurateur gobbles up space during COVID-19 pandemic. Lawyer Tommy Bonfiglio expanded his restaurant business in the past year, so they struggled to pay rent, opening 4 locations with 3 more in the works. New York City to end rule that closed schools after 2 COVID-19 cases. New York lawmakers near budget deal raising income in corporate taxes. Under new budget agreement, top earners in New York would pay the highest combined local tax rate in the country. New York City prepares for return of government workers. The effort has been complicated by an increase in COVID-19 variants cases and employees worrying about the spread of the virus at workplace. Broadway Theater raises curtain, giving a glimpse of post-pandemic return. An invited audience of about 150 attended a free show at Broadway's St. James Theater on Saturday, the first Broadway event ever. Event since theaters were shut down in March last year at the start of the pandemic. Wow. Latest from Greater New York, Hampton Beaches raised parking fees to cover COVID-19 losses. New Jersey Woods Film Studios amid outcry over Georgia's voting law. Andrew Cuomo impeachment probe to examine possible staff help on memoir. New York bans use of long-term solitary confinement. Governor Andrew Cuomo signs a law capping solitary confinement in the state's correctional facility at 15 days. British theater owner seeks bigger role on Broadway. Men charged in attack on Asian American woman in New York. Cuomo lawmakers weigh forcing nursing homes to spend on patients. New York legalizes marijuana. What to know? New York State legalizes recreational marijuana. NYPD investigates attack on Asian woman as possible hate crime. We thank the Wall Street Journal and we go to the New York Daily News. And you can tell it's a smaller operation because they're using a pre-formatted template that many local newspapers use. Brooklyn man shot 3 women dead, including his girlfriend, and kills himself. Daughter 9. Calls cops. A martyr for our democracy. Slain Officer Williams. Billy Evans will lie in honor at Capitol Rotunda. Manhattan 7-Eleven worker pummeled by a shoplifter who calls him Asian mother fire. NYPD precinct commander shoots self. Found dead inside police vehicle in Queens. Wow. SUV driver trapped after heavy construction equipment hits overpass on BQE. And topless from flatbed truck. Woman arrested for craze caught on video Bronx bodega shooting. Sorry, the server gets screwed on this, says brewery customer after lifting a waitress. stiffing a waitress for enforcing pandemic rules. Uh, Sorry, the server gets screwed on this, says brewery customer after stiffing a waitress for enforcing pandemic rules. He's an asshole if you ask me. Pardon my French, but Virginia School District investigates abhorrent, disgusting George Floyd meme shared on social media. 6 dead in Texas murder-suicide after brothers make pact. What? Woman sitting in Bentley killed in Bronx drive-by shooting, man sitting next to her wounded. Prayer vigil held for rapper DMX outside White Plains Hospital. No. And those are not lighters. Those are cell phones that people are taking photos with. Well, okay. New York is just an abundance of not very good news. Uh, yeah, yeah. Aaron Rodgers sacked from the blind side while hosting Jeopardy. Um, yeah, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. uh, to be honest with you, today I was feeling a little down, and I couldn't even pull myself together to do headlines in bed. But I thought, you know what? Let's do it. Uh, I'll power through, and there will be something that will cheer me on. But boy, New York is just not a cheerful destination today. But I thank the Daily News. I thank you for joining me. It's overcast today, but it can still be a great day. Please make it so. I'm going to try to do that. No promises, but I'm going to try. See you tomorrow.